good people. Welcome to Raw Vegan Rising. My name is Shane Sterling. How are you guys doing today? You know, when I was about 10 years old, I just wanted to fit in. I just wanted to be like all of my friends. I just wanted to eat the same food, watch the same shows, talk about the same things, and relate to all my friends, except I was different. My mom raised me really healthy. I wasn't totally vegan, but mostly, and all whole food. So I would have rice cake, peanut butter sandwiches and stuff like that at lunch. And I was mortified. I was embarrassed because I was the weird kid who had healthy food. And I would literally hide my sandwiches and food under the cafeteria table so nobody could see what I was eating, so I wouldn't get made fun of. Because all the kids around me would eat junk food and white bread and cookies and, things like that for lunch, where I didn't. And so all the kids in my class, all my friends would talk about going to McDonald's. I had never been to McDonald's at 10 years old, never once. And I had nothing to talk about at recess or at lunch with kids. And I felt so out of the loop. And I told my mom that I really have to go to McDonald's. I have nothing in common with my friends. I have to go to McDonald's. So I pleaded and begged. And even though she didn't want to take me to McDonald's, she gave in because I was asking. She understood. So I'll never forget it. We went to McDonald's one night for dinner. Okay, and I ordered a hamburger, French fries, and milkshake. So I'm sitting there, I'm eating my McDonald's food. I'm like, wow, this is cool. McDonald's for the first time. I could taste it. It was kind of like plasticky. I had never tasted any food like that before. So we finished our dinner, we got back in the car, and as soon as I got into the car, I threw up all over the back seat of the car, vomited everywhere, like projectile vomit. It was horrible. I jumped out of the car, started crying. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My body rejected McDonald's, absolutely rejected it. I don't think my body even saw it as food at all. Up until that point, I was whole food only. My mom was raising me out of health food stores. My mom would make me juice, green juice and salad as a kid. And here I am having McDonald's, threw it up everywhere. So it just goes to show that the fast food is not really suitable for human consumption. But, when I was a teenager, then I went vegan. At 17, I fully embraced the lifestyle. And I met a girl at that time. We were vegan together. She was the love of my life. And between the ages of 17 and 21, in that relationship with my first girlfriend, my high school sweetheart, we were hardcore ethical vegans together, and I focused on only whole food. I would make juice. I would juice at home. I would make all my own bread, all my own nut milks, focusing on whole food only as a vegan, and really got myself pretty healthy. But at 21, that relationship came to an end. And my heart was desperately broken. It was the deepest heartache and heartbreak I have ever experienced in my life. And so I lost myself and I started down this downward spiral. Now, I was living in the same place that we were in together for 5 years, and I was working the same job. So my environment was like the same, but she had left, and I was just in so much grief. So I started to get into some bad habits. And I was going to Taco Bell. I worked this late night delivery job, and I'd get off at like 4 a.m, and there was nothing open. There was nothing at home in the fridge because I wasn't making food. I was depressed. I was miserable and in total grief. So I would stop by Taco Bell and I would order a vegan burrito or a vegan tostada with no cheese on it, right? Thinking that it was harmless, and I just was hungry and I was alone and by myself. Well, little by little, that little bit of Taco Bell led to Taco Bell every day. And then I started to find myself in an incredible, deep depression. Now, I've never told anybody this before or admitted this, but there was a time when I was just sitting in bed eating Taco Bell with the TV on for endless hours, and I would let the packages of Taco Bell sit on my bed for weeks, and it would stack up in my bedroom, and I wouldn't even throw it away. I got into such a funk, such a bad depression that I wouldn't even throw the Taco Bell packages away. And I took a picture of it at the time because I was in such deep depression and grief, and I knew how bad it was. And I took some pictures on an old film camera at the time. This was back in the 90s. So I still have those pictures today, and it's horribly mortifying and embarrassing to me. But I was in grief and I had fallen into this dark despair, and fast food was the catalyst. Fast food was what spawned that and spurred that on. I got ulcers at that time. I didn't know how to get out of that situation. It was bad, and it lasted for a couple years where I was in that pattern. Okay, fast food took me down to my knees. Just a little innocent, oh, this is convenient in the middle of the night, turned into full-blown desperation. Again, I was sensitive to it. I was raised healthy. I was coming from a whole food vegan diet. That fast food took me down. So after a couple years of that, I met a girl who was a vegan, luckily, blessing, right? So we became a couple, and I got back onto my whole food track. I became a whole food vegan for another 5 to 7 years of my life. And so completely healed myself, turned myself around. It was a big, deep process. And so I just want this message to be a hope for someone who's in that position of despair. If you're on the junk food and the fast food, you can heal it. Whole food is the answer. Do a juice fast, clean out your gut, turn to the whole foods, the raw foods, the fruits and the vegetables. Pots of lentils and legumes and grains can really bring you out of that despair. You owe it to yourself. It's a journey of self-worth. It's a journey of self-discovery. To be honest, I look back at that time in my life now, and to be, really clear with myself, I appreciate the despair I went through. I appreciate the dark night of the soul that I went through, because it has made me who I am today. And look at me, I'm 100% raw vegan for 3 years. I eat nothing but fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. I thrive on raw, undenatured foods. It's the best thing I ever did in my life. And look at the path that I had to go through to get there. When we send satellites out into space to hit the moon or Mars or Saturn, we have a target locked in. They have their destination programmed in, right? But 90% of the time, those satellites are off course. They're not even on course. They just know the destination. So when we know our destination, when we know where we need to go and we're locked in on it, we have a vision and we're focused, we can surrender to the messiness. We can surrender to the messiness of our journey and let ourselves fall apart. Let the fear come over us. It's okay that we don't know how to do it, and that we're not on course, and that we fail and we binge and we go down horrible paths of fast food and get off track. All of it's okay if we know where we're going. Because when we know where we're going, we're always going to get there. Just like our trajectory on the satellites, locked in on the target. So I just want to remind all of you, if you're struggling with depression, if you're struggling with fast food addiction, it's possible to get off of it. And you just have to have the vision for yourself. Choose yourself. It's really like, and I always say this all the time, it's like choosing yourself onto the lifeboat. If you're on the Titanic and there's 1,500 people on board and only 600 seats on the lifeboat, are you going to choose to get on the lifeboat? Do you have the self-worth to choose yourself first? Are you going to do what it takes to save your life? It's a self-worth journey, and I know that you can do it. I know that all of us can do it, and it's hard sometimes, but we owe it to ourselves and we owe it to our future. You know what my vision is now, after all these years on whole food and raw food? My vision is for a life and a humanity that loves itself and loves each other. No poverty, no inequality, just nothing but upliftment for all life on this planet. The animals are taken care of, the humans are taken care of, and we're thriving at the highest level possible. I see it in my mind as clear as day. And even though that is not what's reflected in the world around us right now, I am locked in on that target. I know exactly where I'm going, and I'm going to work toward it the rest of my life. It doesn't matter if I don't get there in this lifetime. It can be messy. It can be falling apart, and I know exactly what I'm working toward and what I'm going to create in my life. And that's what keeps me on track. That's what keeps me raw vegan. And that's why I stay raw vegan consistently. It's for my vision, for the animals, for the people that are suffering. It's for the people who've gone through massive depression. I know what it's like. And it's okay. It's okay that things are messy, and it's okay that we are where we are on our journey. Okay, but choose yourself first. Vote yourself onto the lifeboat on the Titanic. Okay, you deserve it. You're worth it. We all are. So I hope that message is helpful. Thank you for being on this video with me. If you loved it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Raw Vegan Rising, a YouTube channel. I'd love to have you along for more informative videos talking about the raw vegan path and the journey together. Much love to everyone. Have a great day. See you in the next one. If you need help on your journey and you need some accountability to help get the ball rolling or to get yourself out of depressive, self-deprecating patterns that you've been in for a long time, I have a solution. I have my group membership program called Raw Vegan Heroes. This is a Facebook group where people come together to not only get coaching from me, but to just be in community together with other like-minded people who are on this path of healing and awakening and doing the best and voting ourselves onto the lifeboat. Okay, so when you join Raw Vegan Heroes, you get a Facebook community, you get a weekly live stream from me. I do an hour to an hour and a half live video in the group every week. That's a Q&A format. So for people who are detoxing, for people who are juice fasting, you can talk to me directly and get the coaching and the feedback necessary to make it through your journey, to get over the hump, to do the protocol. So that's why Raw Vegan Heroes is powerful, because it's coaching and accountability and action plans, everything you need to transform your life. I believe in you. I'm here for you. And my Raw Vegan Heroes community is so affordable. It's only $14.99 a month. And I make it that cheap because it's a give to you. That's only $3.75 for an hour to an hour and a half video that I do for my members every single week to help you, I mean, that is so cheap. Sometimes I think I just am crazy. I have to raise my prices, but I just remember I'm doing it as a give for people who I truly care about. I have private coaching packages too, but it's my membership that is really here to help everyone and is accessible to everyone. So I just wanted to tell you guys that if you need help, I have a solution for you for very little money. So please join. Check out the membership on my website, www.rawveganrising.com/membership. Okay. Thanks everybody. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.